Hey guys, today we have Akshit with us. Akshit is a famous YouTuber and he has hundreds of, I would say, more than 100,000 of students on his YouTube channel. So Akshit approached me and he wanted to ask few of the questions, especially related to students, because all these students, they come here, their inspiration is to buy the house and start their journey in this beautiful country, but many times they are not able to get the right direction. So Akshit has been kind enough to approach me, and let's see what Akshit has to ask, because he has got so many questions from his student viewers. In this particular discussion, we are going to talk about first-time home buyers, how the students should enter into the real estate market, how they have to save the money for the down payment, what challenges they can avoid. So all that discussion. So Akshit, first of all, thank you very much for flying from, where you come from, Winnipeg?
Winnipeg, yeah.
That's great. So tell me something about yourself first. I came to know you have more followers than me on your YouTube channel. Am I right?
Yeah, that's not true. But you have achieved so much that I am still dreaming about. So thank you so much for the introduction, sir. So basically, I run a YouTube channel by the name True Indian Akshit, and it's basically a community of 1,45,000 students, and it's still growing.
Wow.
So people who are coming to Canada as an international student, or who has already come, and then seeing the experience, learning from experience of me, I just came 3 years ago, but still people who are coming new, learning a lot of things. So I thought, why not ask all the realistic questions by sir, because it can't be any better. So sir, first of all, I would like to know what should be the timeline of the buying the first house. A student comes, his main objective is to get the PR.
Right.
Are there any ways one can buy a house before PR, or if there is, what are they? And if a person doesn't want to buy a house before PR, how he can approach to his first house?
Right. So Akshit, first of all, you have 145,000 viewers on your channel. I have, so take out 1 and take out 0. So I just have 4,500.
But still, I had 45 too.
I know.
So you will still grow, and it's a never-ending journey.
No, of course, guys. So Akshit is giving a strong message. You need to make sure you subscribe my YouTube channel so that I can become popular like him as well. Am I right?
Exactly. Sir wants to unbox his YouTube play button as well. So definitely check this out and subscribe to his channel, because I went through your channel and I saw a lot of different things, like how one can build the house, how can buy a land and build the house. I learned a lot. So it is something that always motivates me and excites me.
Yeah.
So I would love to have your answer.
Absolutely. So Akshit, your first question was when we should buy the house, and can student buy the house in this country? Of course, there are many examples out there where even students, they bought the house in this country when they were on the study permit here. But of course, you need to have a strong backup for that. Many times, parents have that backup and they provide the funding. So if you make 35% down payment, even if you are not a student here, you can buy the property. So that is the first way of buying the house. But we talk about the majority of the cases where the students are coming here and they don't have that much money in their pocket. They first of all struggle to get a job. So what I would strongly recommend, look for a good job first of all. Once you get the job and you get the work permit, after settling down on the job a little bit, though I normally recommend people don't to look for a job, but I understand majority people do that.
That's true.
So after 3 to 6 months, when you have an established job, you start building up your credit. So the first thing you do is come and get a credit card and start using it. That will start building up your credit. And simultaneously, you have to save money for the down payment. So let's say you have saved $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for the down payment, you have established credit, and you have the work permit, you can start looking for the house. Okay? You can buy the house on work permit in this country.
Okay.
Not a problem at all. Of course, especially in Ontario, there are certain areas which we call as a golden horseshoe. There you have to pay extra 15% tax as a non-resident. But you can go and buy something which is out of that golden horseshoe area. So my strong recommendation to everybody, you should buy the property in this country if you came as a new immigrant within first 12 months. Okay? And to the students, I strongly recommend, once you get your work permit, after 1 year, you should start looking to buy a property. Save some money, save 5-10% down payment, establish your credit a little bit, and there are a lot of opportunities. Because Akshit, I personally believe When you buy the house, it's dual purpose. First of all, you go and start living into that. And second, you are actually building up an asset for yourself. And especially when it's a student life, it's so fun to buy the house.
Exactly.
Because you know what? You can live in one room and can rent others.
That's right.
And make some extra money.
And you're building equity over time as well.
There you go. So it's not that easy, but believe me, it's very easy.
So it's just like the mindset.
It's the
you
mindset.
have to think about it. If person will think, okay, I will buy a house when I have this much, but you're never gonna get that much. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is when you are coming to Canada, if you're an immigrant, buy the house within 12 months. And if you are a student, at least wait like 1 year for work permit
Yes.
and then start looking for houses, because it will still take 6 to 7 months.
Absolutely.
Okay, right. Sir, I have seen a lot of people like who are coming to Canada who have been there like for 9 years, 8 years, but they still don't have the house. And I really think that is a mistake, right?
Absolutely. That is not a mistake, Akshit. That is a blunder.
That's true. Okay.
See, if you are 8-9 years in this country, just imagine, go and sit at your home, pick up a calculator, and just calculate how much rent you have paid. I am pretty sure you will find out that you have paid more than $100,000 as a rent. But that is just one part of the story. Go and do the calculation how much house value has gone up in that 9 years.
The equity that you lost.
Yes, I have a lot of my clients actually. They came here on study permit. Once they got their work permit, they bought the house after 1 year or 12 months or 18 months. And now they have $200,000-$300,000 equity in that house. I'll give you a good example. One of my close friend, his son, he was like around 22, 23 years of age. He just finished his university and he got a job in CIBC for $80,000. So in 7 or 8 months, this guy saved close to $40,000 because he was living with parents. He has no other expense. So everything was taken care. You know how Indian parents are.
Yes, that's true.
So this guy, and I was talking to him and he said, Uncle, I want to buy a Mercedes car. I have $40,000 with me. So I asked him a question. I said, you want to buy a Mercedes car today? You can spend your $40,000. What if after 2 years I get you a Mercedes car for free? And he was like shocked. He said, Uncle, how can you do that? I said, leave that on to me. So I spoke to his dad. I requested his dad to pay another $40,000 as a loan to him. So now this guy got $80,000. He was doing a decent job of around $80,000, $90,000. I got him a small house in Mississauga as an investment for $550,000 at that time.
Okay.
And Akshit, you won't believe I sold that property after 2 years for $780,000.
You can buy like 5 Mercedes.
There you go. And then I called him and I said, you know what? Now you go and buy a Mercedes for free. And rest of the money I invested him in another property. So this guy is 35-year-old today. And you know how many properties he owns? 5.
That's
So
great.
that is how you can build up.
Take money from the first property, put it to the other one.
Yeah, you just have to be smart. You just have to be understandable, understand the economy, apply those formulas, and make money for yourself.
Finances are easy if one has a mind to understand it. It's
Absolutely.
not like if you are like I have seen a lot of students, the mistake they make purchases that they can afford.
Absolutely.
Like the Mercedes example, I have seen a lot of students. I'm not focusing on like any typical ones, but the thing is, according to me, one should get a car just to get from part A to part B. Like once you have that, then you can obviously build your Mercedes or whatever you want. You can buy houses, but the first thing you should consider is building your equity over time. Okay.
And actually the biggest mistake the students they make, especially with the phones, when they take a phone and the payment gets delayed with either Rogers or Bell or Fido, whatever it is, they don't go and settle down with them and they don't understand it's ruining their credit. Don't make that mistake. If you have any dispute with them, first make the payment and then settle down the dispute so that they cannot ruin your credit.
Exactly. Credit is the most important thing, as I have understood in this country. If you have a good credit, you can buy a house and then everything is good. Okay. And so I would like to know more about if person is approaching for the first house, what are the basic steps? Like let's say today I thought that I'll buy a house in like 5 months.
Yes.
So what are the steps one has to go through?
Right. So the first and most important thing is you have to make up your mind.
Okay.
Right? That, okay, I want to buy a house. Second thing is you have to look into how much money you can put into the down payment. Right? That is also an important aspect. I strongly recommend don't wait to save 20% down payment. I've seen many people, they keep waiting to save 20% down payment. And you know what happens?
Yeah.
So let's say today house is worth like 600,000 and you want to save 20%, which is 120,000. It took you 2 years. You don't even realize the house which was worth 600,000 is 800,000 now.
That's true.
So that 20% is still not enough. And you will pretty much spend your whole life to save that 20%. There are facilities available where you can buy the house with 5% or 10% down payment, depending upon your eligibility criteria. So look at how much you are eligible for. But as a first time buyer, I never ever recommend you to go overboard and buy something which you can't afford. So your first objective should be to look for a starter home. Don't go for too big, right? Look for a starter home to start your life. After 1 or 2 years, you will get enough opportunity.
Exactly.
So whatever you can comfortably afford, look for that. And of course, if you are a bachelor, if you are a student, you can look for some property where you can rent it out and can make some extra income from there.
Exactly.
So that helps you to pay your mortgage.
So you
Right?
are building equity with paying nothing.
Absolutely.
That's a great thing. Like, if I'm buying a house, I can rent the whole basement, and then I can bring that money into the mortgage, and everything is free. So that's a
Yes,
good thing. So once I have the mindset, once I have the cash ready, the one I want to put in, so the next step should be to approach a realtor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So many people make that mistake. They start searching, browsing the house without realtor.
Okay.
Especially a first-time buyer. This is the biggest decision of your life. You're going to buy something which is worth $500,000. You don't want to make a mistake over there. Just imagine that if I want to, start swimming in the water, very first time, and I start swimming without an instructor, what is going to happen to me?
You're gonna drown. So thank you so much, sir, for explaining everything. Now I have a better understanding of the whole process. So once person gets the realtor, like he approaches a realtor, so what he should look when he was looking for a realtor, because you know that there are like millions of realtors around, right?
Yes.
What is the criteria to look for a better realtor?
Yeah, so I would strongly recommend to interview a couple of realtors. Look into your neighborhood, see who is the realtor who is active in that area, because that gives you an indication that this person knows a little bit about the area. But that should not be the only criteria. There's another criteria as well. Talk to them. Ask them as many questions as you can. See how much they know about the real estate industry. Look for their track record. And most important thing, go with the person who you feel comfortable with. Your gut is never ever gonna give you a wrong direction.
That's right.
So please make sure, do your own due diligence, because again, you are giving the authority to somebody to guide you, to help you to make the biggest decision of your life. You wanna make sure you're working with the best. And let me tell you, the beauty in this country, when you are hiring a realtor as a buyer, you are not paying any commission to them.
That's right.
So you get that service free of cost. Isn't it something amazing?
That's right.
So why wouldn't I use a professional where I don't have to incur any cost to that, and I can get the best guidance?
That's right. That's very wonderful. So I think that I have all the answers that I needed, and the mistakes people shouldn't avoid is to delay the process of buying the house and invest in, not invest, but buy cars, high expensive cars, and then they cannot afford that. And lastly, I have one question. So if a person buy a car for 50,000, does it affect his credit to buy a house?
See, absolutely, it really makes a lot of difference, because when the bank is calculating their GDS and TDS, and if they see any big car loan, that is first thing is, it is showing your spending habits. So let's say if you have a job of 200,000 and you're buying a car for 60, 70,000, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you have a job for 50, 60,000 and you're buying a car for 50,000, then banks gets an indication that, you know what, this guy doesn't know how to manage his money, right? So your file gets weaker.
Okay.
So you have to give thought process to this thing, right? And I always recommend people, don't buy any car before you buy the house. Don't go for any expensive stuff before you buy the house. Don't go and buy a lot of furniture before you buy the house, because car is a depreciating asset.
That's true.
Real estate is an appreciating asset. So it is definitely going to help you to build up a better future. And as I shared the example with you about this young guy,
Yeah.
he bought a house and he was able to afford a car. What if he would have bought a car Do you think he was able to afford a house?
His car would have been like 20,000 after 5
There
years.
you go.
That's right.
There you go.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for answering all my questions, and I hope it helped a lot of students and all the people who want to buy their first house. So yeah, thank you so much again for explaining everything.
So thank you, Akshit, for coming from Winnipeg and asking all these questions. I'm pretty sure all these questions will give you a lot many answers, especially to the students and to the new immigrants. But I absolutely understand you might have a lot many other questions in your mind. I'll be very happy to answer all those questions if you can put those questions in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video so that we can stay connected and I can bring more wonderful videos with a lot of information for you. Thank you very much.